Britain joined the European Union in 1973. 2 years later, a referendum was held and favoured the UK staying in the EU. When the Eurozone, an economic and monetary union to coordinate economic policy, was launched in 1999, Britain chose to keep its own currency. Britain now wants to leave the euro area completely.
There's a lot of anti-migrant and anti-immigration rhetoric that is surrounding the pro-Brexit camp specifically. This focus on if we leave the EU, we can control migrants entering the UK, we can control the numbers of people that come to the UK, and about basically getting some sovereignty back and not having to take instructions from Brussels.
The markets are nervous. If Britain leaves the EU, it will create uncertainty. South Africa is the UK's largest trading partner in Africa. The UK is South Africa's 7th largest import and export market. An EU exit could hinge on the strong trade relationship.
I think that initial move we can expect is rand will weaken slightly. We'll see the pound weaken. We'll see that rand-pound exchange rate weaken. But if they remain within the Eurozone, we'll trade pretty much these levels, and if not, just consolidates around these levels.
There's also concern over the EU's trade partnerships. South Africa's trade with the EU is around $14.5 billion. And together with several other African countries, it recently signed a free trade partnership agreement with the Eurozone. If these preferential trade agreements are compromised as a result of any UK exit, there will be knock-on effects for South Africa.
If there is a Brexit, these agreements have to be renegotiated. On the plus side, I think what's important to remember is that for South Africa and the UK have very equitable trading relations. It's not something that's necessarily in favour of the UK alone.
There's been mixed reactions from economists on the impact a British exit from the EU will have on the South African economy. Recent polls suggesting that Britain will remain within the EU have strengthened the rand, but the local currency is expected to be hammered if the vote is in favour of an exit. With growing concerns of a recession this year, South Africa can't afford any more setbacks.
We still export to Europe and we export to Britain as well, so nothing will really change with both of those. However, what will potentially change is the fact that we now have to put those trades directly through the UK zone, and they're not under the umbrella.
If the Brexit does come to pass, it will be the first time in the 70-year history of the European Union that a member country leaves. A year ago, Greece pulled out of a possible exit at the very last minute. Sumitra Nadu, CCTV, Johannesburg.